Okay, the second and last item administratively is we'd like to approve the secretary's fees from the last meeting. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you, Kate. Second?
Second.
Katie? We can go to a vote. Any discussion around the item? No, let's vote.
What is the amount?
The amount is always the same. It is 100 and, Matt, is it, how much is it? 125?
150.
150. It's always been 150. Okay, we're going to vote to approve the secretary's fees. Kara?
Yes.
I approve.
I approve, I approve, Faith approves, Joe approves. So that concludes the administrative. We are now going to open the public meeting for our applications. First, I have some information for everyone. So the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting will now come to order. We're going to just tell you how this works. First, when a matter is called, the applicant or his or her agent will present the case. At this time, originals of any petition should be given to the clerk, Tara. Copies of the petition should then be distributed to the board. After the applicant's presentation of all interested persons after the application, all interested persons in favor will come forward and speak. And after those in favor have spoken, those in opposition will be heard. If there is anyone in opposition, the applicant or his or her agent may then come forward and address those items brought in opposition. Second, this meeting is being recorded as required by state law. It's important we are able to understand the meeting. Therefore, only one person may speak at a time, and anyone who speaks must come forward and speak clearly, as our recording device is located in the ceiling of our room. You also are required to give your name and address. We welcome the comments of all interested persons, but we must exercise discretion in making sure that your comments are on point, and if you are too far off point, we reserve the right to restrict your comments at any time. Third, applications and interested persons may remain in attendance after the hearing for the executive session to find out what was decided, or you may call the zoning office tomorrow morning to find out. Fourth, if an application for a waiver is granted, the waiver is not valid if the notice is not recorded. The applicant must bring a check in the amount of $70 made out to the town of Fairfield to the zoning office on Wednesday or later following the meeting for proper recording of notice. Any waiver involving construction requires an as-built prior to the issuance of a certificate of zoning compliance and a certificate of occupancy. Okay, thank you. We are now going to move into our applications. The first item on our application was 2150 Fairfield Beach Road, which has been withdrawn. That was a continued item, now it's withdrawn. The first item that was on our agenda today has been continued to 9/4, which is 631 Reed Street. So the first application we're going to hear for a public hearing is 81 Highland Road, map 77, parcel 616. Petition of David and Karen Masla for a variance of the zoning regulations, section 5.2.4, to reduce the sum of two sideline setbacks from 25 feet, currently 19.8, proposing 20.6. Permission to construct a second floor addition, premises A zone. Would the applicant please come forward? You have, so originals to Tara and copies to us.
The original, yep, thanks.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Robert G. White Jr. I am with Rob White Architect, LLC of 441 Oxford Road, Suite 3A in Oxford, Connecticut. And I am here as Karen and David Meslaya's architect and agent representing this application. As the chairperson read, we're requesting a side yard variance of 20.6 in lieu of the 25 for the second story of this property. The drawings that were submitted with the application show on the left side the This is a second floor addition being constructed entirely over the existing first floor. So from a horizontal or plan point of view, there's no additional relative to the first floor directly. This addition would be directly over the garage portion. That's a one-story portion now. The existing right side of the house, second story, is already essentially a cape second story. And essentially, the left side is just being built to match to increase living space in what is a relatively not very tall second floor space inside. Can I answer any questions?
Okay, is there any questions from the board? Joe?
So if I'm reading the application correctly, this is not a pre-existing non-conformity. The house seems to conform in all ways. Is my understanding correct?
The existing house is conforming as it is today. Is that what?
Right.
Yeah.
So there's no pre-existing nonconformity which causes a hardship. The hardship is or the nonconformity is the second story being 5 feet closer to the side yard than, actually, by building the second story, the first floor becomes nonconforming. Is that correct?
No, my understanding is the first floor has a different side yard setback relative to a building. I think it's stated in the regs more than one story. So it is simply that the second story is being proposed to match the width. In other words, on the exterior wall of the first floor below. So therefore, the first floor is conforming now, the first story, and but just the 5-foot difference in the requirement of the regulations is where the second floor comes in. And the hardship being, my understanding that the specific reg or the house predates the adoption of the specific reg. So the house was constructed back in 1940 something.
Right, but as it exists, there's no nonconformity.
Correct.
Can I ask a question too?
Well, yeah, can I just, I've got some follow-up and you're free to follow me. So why can't you build the second story in a conforming fashion and then the house would move forward with no nonconformities?
Simply, we're proposing that it stays on the wall. It's over an existing garage. You have the image up there on the left side, the structural wall on the left side. The relative to the requirement to be harmonious neighborhood, this is a relatively small house. I mean, the whole entire right side, as I said, is conforming. It essentially is a cape, so there's dormers, but essentially is a roof. The 2/3 of the house appears as a one-story home. Technically, by the regulations, it is a 2-story home. But as far as it, relative to the existing home being fully built up with a full vertical 2-story wall. So the other reason is, as I mentioned, it's just an increase in space. This second floor is extremely tight on headroom. Most of the second floor is pretty compromised with headroom below 5 feet at the edges. So the rooms are relatively tiny.
Okay.
Katie?
So I just wanted to piggyback on top of that because maybe I'm reading this wrong, but I believe the house is pre-existing, non-conforming because the sideline setbacks should be 25 feet. They are currently 19.8. Am I looking at the right thing?
Yes, I actually,
So it is currently
yes,
non-conforming.
I'm sorry. You are correct. Yeah, you are correct. It's on the survey. Yeah.
And
is.
is it, I'm right that it's already halfway, it's a 2-story house on half the house now.
Correct.
Right. You're trying to square it up.
Correct.
Right.
Where the center door is on the image, and the two right dormers and roof, that's all existing now.
And was the second floor addition done, when was that done? Or was it built like that?
There were dormers added, I believe. The dormers were added, I believe, in 2012, 2013.
And that did not require a permit because you met the requirements on the setback. You just happened to be a little tighter on one side than the other?
Right. The dormers, to my understanding, were added to relieve headroom space on the right side. It actually was a firm which dissolved. It was actually my own firm and my partners who were the architects then on that project.
Okay. Any more questions from the board?
Quick question. Why is there a difference of 10 inches then, if you're building over the existing lower floor?
Because the setback changes when you have a two-story, the requirement changes.
But according to this, is a difference of 10 inches.
Because they're saying it's currently 19.8, but they're proposing 20.6, so that.
Right.
That's what you're asking?
Yeah, Matt,
Where is that?
Matt, can you answer that?
Where is that 10 inches?
So you can see on the, I guess you want to call it west side, on the right side of the screen. The second floor is 8.8 feet currently. The setback is 8.8 to the outside wall. So we have to measure to the outside wall, so that's where that 8-inch difference is coming from.
Thank you.
Yeah, so the second floor sits in approximately 8 inches on that right side.
Thank you.
Carol, do you good? Okay.
good, thank
Any other questions from the board? Okay, hearing none, seeing none. We're going to ask if there's anyone here or online who wishes to speak in favor of this application. See any? Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak against this application? No? Okay, we're going to close the application. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we are moving on to item 3 on our agenda, which is 1055 Banks North Road, map 217, parcel 9, petition of Beth Howard Associates LLC for a variance of the zoning regulation, section 5.2.4, to reduce the street line setback from 60 feet, currently 42.3, proposing 42.3. Permission to construct front dormers, premises AAA zone. Can the applicant come forward, name and address, please?
My name is Jack Moses with 1055 Banks North Road, and I don't have a copy of this, but I have the original.
Just started at the end.
All right, going after. So we just want to construct 2 dormers on the front of my client's home at 1055 Banks North Road. We'll be adding about 22 square feet of floor space. The top of the dormers will be below the roof line. Both dormers are about 5 feet in. That's it. The lot's not conforming, and it's because of the way the dwelling is sitting on the lot.
Okay. Okay, questions from the board? So you're not, this is what it currently is currently at 42.3.
Correct, and we're going to leave it there. We just want to put dormers on the front.
So it's currently pre-existing, non-conforming. and
Correct.
Adding to the second floor.
Okay, does the board have any questions of the applicant? I don't see any. Is there anyone here or online who'd like to speak in favor of this application? Anyone here or online who'd like to speak in opposition of this application? Okay, we don't hear any. Thank you very much. We're going to close this application. Okay, we're going to move on to number 4. Just so you know, and this goes for everyone, you're more than welcome to stay, as we have, just to let you know, we have 15 applications. We do go pretty fast, you can see that. But if you have to go, you can always call tomorrow. You don't have to sit here and listen unless you're really interested. So it doesn't bear any bad witness for you if you decide to leave, okay? All right. Number 5.
Good afternoon.
Number 4, I think I have to read first. You can stay there.
Apologies.
No, stay there. We are going to number 4, right? Okay, 76 King Street, map 40, parcel 200, petition of Rogerio Mendez and Elaine Parangaba. I guess that's okay. Mendez for a variance of the zoning regulations, flex section 5.2.4 to reduce the sum of two sideline setbacks from 25 feet, currently 21.8, proposing 22. And section 5.2.5 to increase the total lot coverage from 20%, currently 21.77, proposing 22.02. Permission to remove a one-story section of the dwelling and construct a new two-story addition, premise A zone. Name and address.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Mariana Lage. My address is 106 Country Place, Shelton, Connecticut. I will, unfortunately, I didn't make copies of
That's
the.
okay, you could just give the original to
I
Matt.
apologize. So we're proposing to remove the existing sunroom, which sits at 20, sorry, let me just get this back. Yeah, I missed the page. Yeah, we're moving it back 0.2 feet, which makes it more conforming with the pre-existing non-conforming condition. But we're also making it a two-story addition to accommodate two of the rooms upstairs closets. And with that, we are increasing the lot coverage.
You're on the wrong one.
This is 76. They're making two closets on top of the sunroom addition.
King Street, right?
Yeah, that's King Street.
Right, is that, that's what, so,
Isn't that Lisbon?
No, this is
No?
King Street.
Is it?
Yeah.
My apologies.
No worries. They have a sunroom right now, and they're making a two-story addition, 0.2 feet
Sorry,
backward.
my apologies.
Is that right? Okay.
You're good.
And
I saw that.
Yeah.
It's a sunny room, is
the
it?
sunny room. Okay. I really don't know the difference between the two. Sun and sunny.
We know what it meant.
I like it better
So
that way.
that's the sunny room. And on top of it, they want to extend the closets for their bedrooms because they have a pretty small house, because this is also another of the hardships are that this is undersized lot. So we should have 9.375 thousand, and we actually have 576. So we're almost half of the size that we should have. So that's why we're increasing on coverage. And if we had what was supposed to be there, we wouldn't be requesting any variance for that. We would still be at 38.5% of the maximum building area. So we're still staying under that. And the reason for their construction is they want to repair the old chimney that it's breaking. And then they also want to extend a little bit and have more space. So that should be it. We have the two hardships, the pre-existing and undersized lot.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Does the
welcome.
board have any questions?
What is the coverage ratio in the zone, and what's it going to? I'm having a hard time picking it out of the chart.
The lot
I'm sorry.
coverage?
Yeah, and anybody can answer.
It's on here. It's currently 21.77, they're proposing 22.02.
Okay,
So that's about 0.3.
It's allowed is 20.
okay, all right.
Okay, any other questions from the board? Nothing from the board. Is there anyone in the room or online who'd like to speak in favor of this application? Is there anyone in the room or online who'd like to speak in opposition to this application? Okay, seeing none, hearing none, we're going to close the application. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Based on that application, I would say we're going to see her again. Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. Okay, we're going to move on to number 5, 125 Coleman Road, map 74, parcel 124, petition of 125 Coleman Road LLC for a variance of the zoning regulation, section 5.2.4, to reduce the sideline setbacks from 15, currently 11.4, proposing 11.4. Permission to construct a second floor addition premises R3 zone.
Great. Amanda Foss. Home address is 20 Split Rock Road, Norwalk, Connecticut. So yes, we are currently looking to expand on the existing footprint. Right now, the setback is 11.4 of the existing first story. There is a small second story that we are going to take down and would like to go over the entire footprint of the first floor. So it's an existing non-conforming lot size and shape, as well as non-conforming in the setback.
Questions? Maybe this is through to Matt. So Matt, they were supposed to be at 15, they're currently 11.4. Is 15 still what their requirement would be with a second floor addition?
Yes.
Okay. Why do sometimes it's different?
As you get into the zones that have more space.
Oh, so it's a zone
The set-
issue?
yeah, the
Okay, so
setbacks
some
stay the
zones
same.
change and some don't. Okay,
Correct.
thank you so much for telling me that. Okay, so that was my only question. Anyone else have a question? No? No questions? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone here who would like to speak in favor of this application online? Is there anyone here who'd like to speak in opposition to this application? No, hearing none, seeing none. The application is closed. Thank you very much. Okay, number 6 on our agenda is 74 Coach Lane, map 87, parcel 222, petition of Karen S. and Peter L. Schwartz for a variance of the zoning regulations, section 5.2.5, to increase lot coverage from 15%, currently 14.93, proposing 16.57. Permission to construct a carport and storage shed. So, thank you. The application, name and address, please?
It's Peter Schwartz, 74 Coach Lane, Fairfield, Connecticut. No relation to Joseph Schwartz, just for the record. Yes, hopefully this is pretty straightforward. My wife and I moved here last year and built a new house, and with the purchase of a boat that's currently on the end of the driveway, looking to get a carport to sort of hide the boat from the neighbors. And within the packet that you see there, I have all the signatures. The second packet, these are examples of what's in our neighborhood now, where a lot of people have built like tent pole with tarps to hide either their boat or their car. So what we're looking to do is to quote unquote beautify the look. So instead of having something that looks sort of temporary and, you know, maybe a little bit of an eyesore depending on whose perspective you're looking at, put in a carport that we had carport that will hide the boat. Also plan on putting siding on the sides, sort of invented, just like you might see on an elevated new construction home here down the beach for flood control. That way that the boat's currently sitting on the driveway with the big tarp on it gets hidden from view from the neighbors and the curb. There was an existing shed on the lot when we purchased the house. We have since torn that down, so that's no longer there. And that's why we were looking to add a little bit of shed at the back of the construction.
Sorry, excuse us.
Just no problem.
Looking at your picture.
Yeah.
And those are all pictures within 0.2 of a mile, 0.3 of a mile from our house today.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions? So, what's our hardship?
So the hardship is I have a boat that I'd like to protect from the weather and the elements, and to protect the investment, a carport, which, you know, during the winter, especially with the snow, to be able to slide it in there so that it benefits, you know, the asset that we've invested in. And then I'd say the second level is the hardship is not actually for us as the homeowners, but we're doing the investment so that there's not a hardship from the perspective of the neighbors, because we're quote unquote beautifying the neighborhood by hiding it in a building that's going to be consistent with the look of the house.
Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah. So just clarifying, there is no pre-existing condition that makes this a non-conforming property.
Not that I'm aware of. As we bought this lot a little over a year ago and built the house, so to my knowledge, the answer is no, but I don't want to say with 100% certainty that is correct, as I'm not the technical expert in this matter. But as our builder, who was unable to be here today due to some doctor's appointments, we're zoned right now where we could have lot coverage up to 15%. In essence, we're asking for to increase it by about 1.6% over that 15% in surface coverage.
Does anyone else on the board have questions of the applicant? Joe, are you good?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Does anyone here or online wish to speak in favor of this application? Does anyone here or online wish to speak in opposition to this application? No? Okay, we're gonna
I have
close.
a question for Matt on this. I don't know if I ask now.
No, please.
Maybe ask later. Like that, in that picture, just confirming, those temporary, like, Quonset hut type things, do those count as coverage?
Technically, they're not temporary.
So
So
technically-
they would count toward coverage.
So there's probably those people that have those
People
things.
don't necessarily need the permits for them,
Probably
or
don't
actually
have-
they would.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
more than likely, the ones that he's showing don't have any permits on file, in which
Should.
case they would probably have to be in front of this board too.
And in terms of the rules, everyone in town is allowed to have one boat on their property, on a trailer. And if it's covered in a tarp, that's okay.
That would be okay.
But if it's covered in anything permanent, it counts towards lot coverage.
Like that picture that we had with the,
Dark,
Correct, yes.
okay.
Yeah, so
Can you please stand?
Yeah, sorry. Just so like on the pictures, I think one of the pictures, one of the neighbors has like a giant RV that's covered in a silver tarp. So my understanding when I was reading through the codes was that's completely fine. Like, hey, you can park an RV right at the front of your driveway covered in a giant silver tarp and you're not in violation of any of the codes because it's not undercover and it's not a permanent structure.
Right.
But it's pretty unattractive.
It's
Yeah.
a little bit different to our regulations
Right.
technically, but the tarp itself is not something I would count toward coverage. Vehicle, I don't count toward coverage.
but I-
But an RV is something completely different, which I don't need to get into now, but that bottom one wouldn't count as for needed for a permit or anything else, because they just wrapped it with a tarp.
But you think the top
Top
left
two.
picture is stretching?
Top two would. Technically, if it's more than 30 days, it's going to be considered permanent, in which case they would need a permit.
And okay, all right. Okay, thank you. I don't know where I was, so I'll do it again. Is there anyone here or online who'd like to speak in favor of this application? Is there anyone here or online who'd like to speak against this application? Don't have any, so we are going to close this application. Thank you very much. Okay, we are moving to number 7, 8 Rosedale Drive, map 79, parcel 840. Petition of Gloria Jean Fazio for a variance to zoning regulations, section 6.3.8, to reduce the rear and side setbacks from 30 and 7, currently 3.8 and 3.6, proposing 4.5 and 4.5. And section 5.2.5 to increase the lot coverage from 20%, currently 21.3, proposing 23. Permission to remove the existing garage and rebuild the garage with a second floor accessory dwelling unit. Premises A zone. Hi.
Good afternoon. My name's Mike Fazio. I live at 1495 Fairfield Beach Road. I'm making the application for my mother. She lives at 8 Rosedale. It's on the corner of High Street. She's seeking the variance to allow a detached accessory dwelling unit over a rebuilt garage. What I want to do is remove the old detached garage and build a new detached garage with an accessory part and over on top. She's 85 years old, may need a caregiver in the next few years, so I'm trying to be proactive here and getting this variance so I could rebuild something. The hardship is that we're already a non-conforming lot in the residential A zone. The minimum lot area would be 9375 square feet. We only have 8375 square feet. And the minimum squares should be 75, we only have 70. We're also located on a corner lot. We're able to meet the 30-foot setback from High Street for an accessory structure, but can't comply with the setbacks and still be able to maintain the off-street parking that's required.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We love talking about, we always have questions on ADUs, don't we? Does the board have any questions of the applicant? Okay, Matt, would you mind for all of us to just go through one more time when ADUs are allowed, detached and not detached, per town code?
ADUs are allowed, period.
Yep.
Throughout the entire town. The detached are permitted in our 2-acre, 1-acre, and R3 districts.
So AA, AAA.
AA, AAA, and R3. Attached would be permitted in any other lot that is conforming for the district that it's in. So in this lot, even if it were attached, he would have to make an application because it's not a conforming lot.
Right. And this is Zone A, correct?
Zone A, correct, yes.
So in Zone A, you have to come for a variance for a non-detached ADU.
Non-attached,
Right.
correct, yes.
And this
but
is not attached.
This is not attached, so yes. And
And
it's
then
not a compliant lot
It's,
either.
right, okay. All right, sorry, I just always have to do this on these because I think they're confusing. Okay, so would the board have any questions, either through to Matt or to the applicant? Okay, I don't, is there no questions? Okay, so, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone here who would like to speak for this application online here? Is there anyone here who is in opposition to this application who would like to speak? Hearing none, seeing none, this application is
Hold on,
closed.
hold on,
Oh,
hold on.
somebody?
Yeah.
Got a hand here.
That's the person with the number, J, no?
Jay, no. Opposition, it says. Hold on, let me see if I can get him on.
We're working on getting you unmuted. There you go. Can you have your name and address, please?
Hello? Can you hear me?
We can.
Hi,
Name-
yes. I'm the daughter of the neighbor to the side there, High Street.
I need you, can you give your name and address first?
Sure. My name is Jessica Nolfo. I'm the daughter of the people just next to that property, which is 747 High Street.
Okay, and your address?
My address, I live in Manhattan. My parents are over 80, so I'm involved with their care as well. So this is sort of an elder care question.
Yeah, but we just, for the record, when someone comes to speak in front of our board, we just need to know where you live.
Sure. 350 West 30th Street, New York, New York, 10001.
Okay, thanks. So please go ahead.
Okay, so here's the opposition. First of all, I'm not super familiar with the plans because no one in the family saw them until today, apparently. Also, I am noticing from what I see here that the extension forward towards High Street is directly in line with my parents' house, which faces High Street. So this is along the line. So what would be beyond this drawing that you see here is actually part of their house and their driveway. So anything more than what is there would be, assumingly what he's saying is 2 stories, it would immediately impact the house. It would be right up against the house for all practical purposes, where I could probably reach across into the other window. It would affect airflow. It would be a fire hazard. It would affect lighting. And just so it's on record, they were not informed of this out of all the 10 neighbors that were apparently informed until the past 48 hours. And so my father signed something, 80 plus years old, not fully aware of the scope of it, or there was a plan, or there was a drawing, and they quote unquote were not available. And he signed it, and he revoked his signature upon seeing the plans because he didn't realize. So there was not a lot of clarity as to how this was supposed to work and how imminent this meeting was. And it just so happens that I am not in town at the moment assisting my parents. So I find, this confluence of factors sort of relevant to the fact that he says that this would not be an imminent construction. And he's saying 4 to 5 years or 3 to 5 years is the timeline. I am not convinced, because he began doing work on the house the minute they pulled those moving trucks up. And Gloria, who's actually a very nice individual, moved in. They cut down a tree, so now that side of the house boils. And they cut it down within a week or two of moving in, a perfectly healthy 100-plus-year-old tree. And now they've been flooded. So his consideration of the practicalities of construction or changing the law and all that, I think it's, a very loose understanding of the impact to the neighborhood and the neighbors. And I don't understand why they, who share the entire side and would be most impacted by the construction of this, because behind this, if you look to the left of this blue square, that is the detached garage of the other neighbor. And the other side to the back, which would be the top of this blue square in the drawing here, is my parents' actual house. So why were they the last people informed of this in any way, shape, or form out of 10 people they were told in the past 48 hours? So I'm at work and I'm scrambling to become involved and understand better what is here. So I think that they need to widen the timeline of this application process and approval so that it's fully understood and the neighbors, including us, are more engaged and have a better understanding of the scope of his plans. Because there's a finished basement there. They could do many, many other things if there was a need for Gloria to have an attendant living on the premises. There's many other options. And this is two stories. This is a house. This is not an ADU where you're converting a one-story garage into a one-story living apartment situation. This is a new house. And I think the town and the zoning commission here should see it for what it is, because he is a developer in town. He's a builder and a developer. He knows exactly what his plans are, and he's keeping it very lo-fi. I understand the elder care question and the ADU question, but if she had an attendant, there's plenty of property within that house on the lower level. And there's also the potentiality for the garage to be converted or something exactly the same being put in fresh and new with a loft bed area, but not raising 2 stories and completely being literally up against my parents' house. If you were standing there right now and saw it, you'd say, oh, it's like a sailboat pulled up next to the house. So that's my opposition. The family is in opposition. My sister, my parents, who are over 80. My father's in a doctor's appointment at this moment. Oppose. That's all I have to say. So expand the timeline, consider it for what it is. It's not going to be this. It's going to be a house. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we'll mute her now, and then we'd like you to speak, if you would like to what she has said, if you choose to.
Sure. So I disagree with the point that she's saying that I'm moving closer to her house. I'm actually moving further away from her house with this structure. I'm increasing the sideline from 3.6, which it currently is, to 4.5 feet. So I'm actually moving the building further away from their house, taking into consideration. Also, us moving closer to High Street. It's just currently, it's a small garage that was built many years ago. It's my mother has a problem right now, even pulling the car in. She's taken off 4 mirrors in the last couple of years and hit the sides. It barely fits in the current garage that she has. Just making it a few feet longer would help her bringing her car inside. That's the reason we're doing. And again, my mother is a private person. She really doesn't want somebody living in her basement, which is not finished. There's some carpet down there in one of the side little portion of a room where my nephew hangs out once in a while. But it's not a finished area. No one could live down there. And she's really not into having, it's a tough conversation even to have this with her that she may need care in the next few years. So to try to convince her also that I got to put somebody in the house, this just makes it more palatable.
Who on this application are we, signature has been revoked? What's his name?
These people.
Charles Nolfo?
I scratched off the signature on there.
Okay. And can you tell me currently how many square feet is the garage?
Currently, it's 20 by 20,
So 400 square feet?
400.
And what will this unit look like when it's complete?
I think it's,
Probably on the right, Matt?
it's going to be 27 by 21. So it's going to be 7 feet longer and 1 foot wider.
Okay, so it's 400 square feet now?
Right.
And what's the square feet gonna be? Just because
Let
it's
me
easier
do-
for me
yeah,
around
Let me do the math for you.
Number?
27 by 21.
567.
567
So your total, you're going from a 400 square foot
footprint,
to 567.
correct.
Okay, I just wanted to understand that math. Okay, I don't really know protocol. Does anyone here have any questions based on the information we just heard from the applicant, the opposition?
I do.
Please, Kate.
Because I understand the concern about something being built that's too big, right? It is an undersized lot. They're asking for a coverage increase of 1.7%, is that correct?
Yes.
In that zone, we can have a maximum of 40% floor area percentage. And what are you gonna have in this, once this structure is done, how much will you have? 20.3?
FAR.
Yeah, FAR, so maximum floor size.
Yeah.
So you could have 40%. You're only gonna have 20.3%.
Correct.
So you could double the size of that house if you wanted to.
Right.
I know you're not, but my point is they're asking for 1.7% coverage. And I understand the neighbor's concern that this is going to theoretically be a big structure, but this house could be double the size if you chose to.
I have another question along those lines. That is, the garage in blue is on the corner, but there was no request for a variance on setback.
Yeah, there are.
Here it is.
So how much of a setback variance are we looking at?
Well, there's two different setbacks. One's a requirement for the ADU and one would be required for the accessory structure. If this were an accessory structure without the ADU, they wouldn't be seeking a variance for setback from the side and they would only be seeking it from the street.
Right.
But because it's an ADU, it has to meet the primary setbacks
Oh, okay.
of 30 from the back and 7 from the side. And
And
that
what is it gonna be?
4.5 and 4.5.
So it is going to be very close,
For an ADU, if you want to.
but it's as close as it was.
It's
Okay.
less
It's
close.
less-
It's less
No,
close.
it's further away than.
They're
what
moving it
was.
away, they're actually moving it away from the
Okay.
rear and side property lines.
Okay, we can have more discussions, right, during our time, so
I have
please.
another question. Obviously, you've heard the advocate for the next door neighbor seems to be upset. Do you think if you had more time to explain to them that you might be able to convince them that this is not as intrusive as they're claiming? I'm just asking, would you consider postponing our decision for a month while you were able to talk to the family more to see if you could explain to them your vision as opposed to their vision? The reality is one thing, but the conflict is clear between the two of you.
Right, I understand your concern. I found out this morning that they were.
Sorry, hold on one second. So that person now is chatting live to us. I don't know, once she has
She's not allowed-
spoken, if
she's not allowed.
she's not allowed to do that.
No.
So if we could just, I'm sure she's not aware of that. I just want to shut it off. And please go ahead.
So I found out this morning that they were changing their mind after I spoke to them yesterday. So I went back to the house, I brought the plans, and I spoke with the occupants of the house, and I showed them the plans and explained, and the wife's concern was I was gonna block sunlight coming in through one of the windows. And I was trying to show her that even if this building is here, you're not gonna be blocking any more sunlight because the window isn't as far up as we're pushing the house. The center window is already blocked by what's currently there, so it'd stay the same. And the rear window would even be made better because I'm moving the back sidelines further away, so the building would move up a little bit. So I think that I really explained it to them as best I
Okay,
could.
so
I don't think
your answer
there's,
is no, you don't think that?
I don't
after
think
the
so.
30 days
I
will?
think they've made their mind up.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
I have a question.
Sure.
Is there a reason that you chose to place it there and couldn't bump it in so that it would be a little farther? Like instead of 4 feet, it would be 6 feet from her property line? I mean, I see that your driveway is kind of angled.
Like, move it another 1.5 feet away. I don't think that'd be a problem.
Closer to the house?
I
Closer
don't,
to your
yeah, I don't
house?
think 1.5 feet would change my plans. It's just I was trying to put it in the footprint of basically where it was, rather than moving it.
I think
closer.
that seems to be her objection, that it's so close to her property line.
I don't have a problem moving it 1 foot to 6 feet from that sideline, if that's what
I mean,
makes
So-
this board happy.
I mean, the question is what would make them happy? I'm not sure what anything would. She seems to object to the 2-story, and the problem with that is that's allowed in town, that an ADU can be built, so the only thing that I think would seem to be a negotiating point would be to move the building slightly farther from the property line.
I really don't want to postpone because I'm going to be out of the country for the next couple meetings that you're going to have. So now we're looking at getting into, November and December for me. And I don't think there is hope in convincing them after I spoke to them today. They seem pretty adamant against anything being there other than what is currently there.
Is that an option? I'm curious, maybe ask you this later, are you allowed to say a condition was gonna come a foot forward, or you have to resubmit everything?
You can make a condition.
We'll talk about that, I guess, after.
Well, it's got to be on the record before you go into executive session.
Okay. All right, thank you very much.
So we need to clear with the applicant if we're gonna make that stipulation.
We don't need to do that now, though.
Matt said we did.
Yes, he says you
Matt said we
do.
did.
No, but we have to what?
Make a stipulation.
Condition has to be
But
made.
don't we
now.
make the
If you're
con-
going to ask for a condition,
Yeah, he has to agree to it
you
now?
have to agree to it before you go into, before you
We
close.
might not make the.
She's still chatting.
We might not make the stipulation, but we need to
Yeah,
know
it's a chat.
that it's
Okay.
acceptable
Okay.
before we consider it. So would you consider, if we stipulated an approval, but moving the garage 1.5 feet?
Away from that sideline, from 4.5 to
Yes.
6 feet,
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that if that's
Okay.
the way you
All right.
decide
That
to.
gives us something to consider when we're making our
Right,
decision.
okay. I prefer what is here, but if that's
Yeah.
what is necessary, then I'll
Have that on
do it.
before you close the hearing.
Okay, all right, so we've heard that from the applicant, okay? All right, thank you.
Thank
Is there
you.
any, there's no one else that wants to speak. Okay, we're gonna close this application. Okay, we are going to application number 8, 174 Mona Terrace, map 232, parcel 31174. Petition of Tim and Megan Goff, thank you.
Rhymes with cough.
Thank you. For a variance of the zoning regulations, section 5.2.5, to increase the total lot coverage from 30%, currently 31.6, proposing 31.6. Permission to remove and rebuild an existing deck and stairs, premises B zone.
So I'm Timothy Goff of 174 Mona Terrace, Fairfield, Connecticut. We moved in roughly 4 years ago, as of September. There's an existing hardwood deck there that is not in the best of shape. And we are looking to rebuild the deck, and we have since learned that the existing stairs that we purchased the house with on that deck were never part of the original plan. We would like to maintain or keep those, rebuild those stairs as part of our existing structure. But part of that will increase the lot size from the 30% to the 31.6%.
Does the board have any questions?
Changing the size of the deck, correct?
It's about 1 foot longer because we're just trying to make the stairs a little wider because right now one person could go up or down them. We would just like to make it so.
So you're not increasing, the coverage is not increasing from what you currently have, okay?
Yeah, just because of the stairs is increasing the lot size.
Lot coverage.
Lot coverage, yes. thank you.
Yes, but it's really not because the lot coverage is the same now as it will be when you rebuild, according to your
Yes.
plans.
Yes, it just wasn't previously
Nothing's
permitted.
changing,
Yes.
except for an old rotten deck, okay?
And stairs that were never, this CO was issued, and then the stairs were put in later. So we will, I think, approving this will legitimize the stairs. Is that correct, Matt?
That's correct.
That's correct. Okay.
And I would just add, that is the second egress from the house. So the only way out of the house is the front door right now, or without those stairs, the second door being those stairs on the deck.
Okay. Does anyone else here have any questions for this application? Go ahead, Joe.
I'm trying to make the little box of zoning requirements legible, and I can't, it's not becoming legible. But what is the existing nonconformity?
I don't believe there was one, or I guess unless the stairs being made after the original plan.
Is that?
The lot was conforming when they built the house, is my understanding.
When the house was built, they didn't include the stairs on the original plan. They were issued the CO, and they built the stairs after.
Okay. But even with the stairs, do the stairs make it non-conforming? Or?
It does.
It does.
The stairs put them over their coverage.
The coverage, okay, that, I couldn't figure out
Yeah.
which, okay.
All right.
So it's a slight increase in coverage because of the stairs, which were not previously.
So not, well, according to the survey, it's not actually an increase in coverage.
Correct. But when the
But it
original
was illegal
CO was
coverage, it
issued,
was not legal coverage.
Right.
Semantics, right?
Okay, anyone else from the board? No? Okay. Is there anyone in the public who wishes to speak in favor of this application here or online? No? Is there anyone in the room or online who wishes to speak in opposition? No? Okay, this application is closed. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. We are moving on to number 9.
this is the correct one. sorry.
Okay. This was him, not you. 50 Lisbon Drive, map 47, parcel 103, petition of Pan Papa Khan and Mona Son Min for a variance to zoning regulations, section 5.2.4, to reduce the street line setback from 40 feet, currently 30 feet, proposing 30 feet, and section 5.2.5, to increase the total lot coverage from 15%, currently 15.8, proposing 16.8. Permission to construct a second floor, an attic addition, and a new open front porch.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Mariana Lage, 106 Country Place, Shelton, Connecticut. Again, I didn't make a copy of this, but this is the.
You'll remember next time.
So on this application, we have 2 hardships. The first one being the pre-existing nonconformity, which is the house nonconforming with the setback. It sits at 30, so if we're to build a second floor, it will sit on top of it. We're not making any new foundation. We're not increasing footprint. It's going to be built right on top of the existing footprint, but since it's a pre-existing, we are asking for 30 feet. We're not increasing what's existing. And the second variance that we are asking is for the coverage, which this is also an undersized lot. This is almost by half. We're in an area where 20,000 is required, and we have 11,361. So 8,600 feet we're under, and we're still going to be under the 30% maximum building coverage of 30, we're still going to be at 24.6. So we're still 5% under what's permitted. So that's our application.
Okay. Any questions from the board? No? Okay. Any public comment online or in the room for this application? Any public comment online or in the room in opposition to this application? Hearing none, seeing none, this application is closed. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, next we're going to 74 Mills Park Drive, map 147, petition 263, petition of Brendan and Donna Kelly for a variance to the zoning regulations, section 5.2.4, to reduce the street line setback from 30 feet, currently 26.5, proposing 22.9. Permission to enclose the existing front porch. Thank you.
Good afternoon, I'm Brendan Kelly, 74 Mill Spa Drive in Fairfield. Currently, my wife and I live in a standard Fairfield type cape. We are currently non-conforming, a lot was pre-existing non-conforming. So what we're trying to do is just take our front foyer and expand it by, I believe, 6 square feet to allow us to have a little bit more space inside the house. You know, the hardship being it's really tight and confined space, and we are a pre-existing non-conforming lot to begin with. So we're just looking for a setback from the front of the house.
Questions? Board members, anybody? Okay, I don't see any questions from the board.
Well,
please.
I'm sorry, I do. Maybe, am I looking, it's okay, 74 Mill Spa. So you said you are non-conforming because you don't have significant lot size?
Well, the conforming's 30 feet, we're currently at 26 and change. Right, so we are 30 feet from the actual street line, but from the property line, we're 26 and change.
Okay.
So that's
So
where.
you were talking about the lot size, you were talking about the setback.
The setback, correct.
Okay, is there any comments from the public here or online? Is there any opposition here or online? No? Seeing none, we're going to close this application. Thank you very much. Okay, we are going on to number 11, which is 121 Lakewood Road, map 72, parcel 180. L. Petition of Joseph Spencer and Alexa Jeremiah, thank you.
Just now, but yeah.
Thank you. For a variance to the zoning regulations, section 5.2.5, to increase the total lot coverage from 10%, currently 12.95, proposing 14.5. Permission to construct a rear deck. Can the applicant please come forward?
I have an original hard copy for Matt, but I have no others. Matt has a soft copy of that for distribution if you want. My name is Richard Jeremiah. I live at 57 Wild Horse Court in Monroe, Connecticut. I am the agent in this matter, representing the homeowners, my son-in-law, Spencer Joseph, and daughter Alexa Joseph. The hardships are twofold here. Number one is that the house is located on a double-A sized lot, which you all know is 43,000 plus square feet. And our property is only 21,000 square feet. So it's a really tight fit because a good chunk of the property is not usable just due to, you know, some pretty extreme slopes in the back of the property. The house is jammed up against the back of the usable property, rendering the backyard pretty useless to my
Excuse me,
the
one
family.
second. Matt, do you have anything to put up on this one?
This one didn't load,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
We had something though.
We have it, it's on.
Yeah, we have it.
Okay, good.
Yep. Very clear.
For some reason, I lost that one and another one.
Please, go ahead.
Sorry about that. So the lot,
Go ahead.
Yeah, so the house is at the very back of the usable lot property,
And it, for all intents and purposes, renders the backyard useless. It's just a little strip of grass that is, sloped as it is, and then it drops off dramatically from that point, almost 20 feet down to the water line over probably less than a 30-foot distance. So the rise and run is really sloped. So there's a fence between the usable property and where, you could break your neck rolling down the hill. So the goal here is to put a deck on the back of the house, level with the first floor. It is a walkout basement, so the deck would be 8 feet off the ground. And that's what I'm trying to do here. And as mentioned, the chairman mentioned, it's already non-conformant as when it was built originally in the mid-'80s at 12.95%. And what I'm trying to do would make it go up to 14.5%. I do want to make a note that on the back of the house where I want to put the deck, there is already a deck there that's on the second floor bedroom. It's what do you call those, Juliet decks, I believe. So I just want to build one underneath it and to give their family the ability to go out of the kitchen, have chairs, a barbecue grill, and then be able to get down to the backyard if they ever felt the need to. So that is the purpose of this meeting.
Questions from the board? So the front of the property, the elevation is 53 and the back is 40. So it really goes down pretty severe.
Well, it just in the usable property from the front of the house to the very back property where the fence is before it really dies off, I would say it's over 100-foot run. It's probably a 5-foot drop in elevation, but then it goes down hard.
Okay.
And if you see any pictures online that I've shared with Matt,
Is there any actual photos?
yeah, there's some
Okay.
photos right there.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
And I know that it goes down.
Yeah.
All right, any other questions from the board?
Yeah, that's a good photo, and that's not a good representation.
What is the coverage allowed for a AA zone?
I'm gonna go to Matt on that.
10%. 10%. Thank you.
Does the board have any more questions on the application? Okay. Is there any member here or online who'd like to speak for this application? Is there any member here or online who would like to speak in opposition to this application? Okay, hearing none, seeing none, we're going to close this application. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time and consideration.
Okay, we are, okay.
Thanks a lot.
Please. Okay, we're closing in on it. Number 12.
12.
Okay. 515 Fairfield Beach Road, map 138, parcel 31. Petition of Scott Hirsch for a variance to zoning regulations, section 11.11.2 to reduce the sideline setback from 5 feet, currently 3.9, proposing 1.2, permission to construct a utility platform with stairs, premises BD zone.
Good afternoon. Thank you for your time. I am Scott Hirsch. I live at 515 Fairfield Beach Road with my wife Lorraine. We have an approved auxiliary unit that has been built. It's got the windows going in and are finalizing today. We are asking for a utility platform to rest on the side of the house, changing the coverage as well as the setback. You may recall from the approval period, the setback was actually improved. We thought we were going to get back to conformity at 5 feet. And then we moved the property over. We had a utility line that ran diagonally through it that no one knew about, a 6-inch water main from the early 1900s that subsequently had to be relocated by Aquarian. It was a big deal. There's now a 8-inch water main that runs through my property directly down it that now serves the other neighbors because it had to be removed from the property and relocated. So we're asked for that just for realistically, I personally spent time with United Illuminating, both the engineer and the meter department. I spent time with Carlos Rodriguez, the building department engineer, and Pat Mahoney. I spent time with the zoning team trying to understand what was necessary. The architect, Phil Cerrone, survey, Neil Jane, and then I did have lengthy conversations with the residents on all three sides across the street, to the right and to the left. The one on the left is the one that would be most affected by that. That is Paul Tortora. In two of those cases, the people immediately adjacent, I walked through all options with them, showed them the space, personally reviewed the plans with them, heights. In spending time with Paul Tortora, who's the one most affected by it, he looked through it, understood the elevations. Any of the other solutions were not preferred because it would have required that we put something on the side of our existing house, which been right across from the primary bedroom in their existing older house. So all three did approve. You have signatures in there. I gave earlier today, Matt, the original signatures of all three of those people, and obviously as required, I think the town noticed the people all within 250 feet of the house.
Okay.
Yeah, second, trying to keep conscious of the time.
Okay. Does the board have any questions on this application? So the signature, the second person on this line is the person that lives left there, right there.
That is, let me just make sure I got it, that's Paul Tortora. You may or may not know this. Paul Tortora is the person that represents the house on the left. Paul Tortora is part of the family. He's responsible for the LLC or the trust. The home is typically rented to students most of the time. If you know the property, my subject ADU is some 50 feet from the corner in front of the house. Even if that were at some point in time torn down, it would be unlikely that there would be any construction anywhere near my ADU. And their property also sits about 4.5 feet higher than my base elevation at the base of this unit.
Okay, other questions from the board?
So just a clarification, the utility platform was not in the original presentation. Is that right? And you're asking to add it?
That's correct. So I'll tell you the reason why that is, if that's okay. So originally, in speaking with United Illuminating, the ability to put it on the side of the house, if you look at our original house, was to connect meters side by side on the side of the house. Now, there's a whole lot of math in the height that it's got to be. Is that a pre-existing condition or not? So as we went through it, in the end, what UI said is we have to have a disconnect, and that disconnect must exist on the auxiliary unit. You probably know the rules better than I do. What I've learned is that has to be 6.7 feet from the place your feet touch the ground, so it can be turned off. The issue is now the unit, before you get to the base, is now 14 feet up in the air, right? And so it would have to be way up. You'd have to have a utility platform at that point. We didn't expect we were going to have to do that based on the conversations we had. We have some other conversation about the process of trying to go through and understand it, but that's why we're here today.
And just again, as a summary, the utility platform makes the unit how much closer to the side yard than?
So originally it was 3.9 feet. We moved it to what will end up being about 5.5 feet. So it'll end up being about 1.2 feet from the stockade fence on the side of the property.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other questions?
Anyone else have any questions? No, I don't think so.
Thank you for your time.
Is there anyone in the room or online who's here to speak for this application? Is there anyone in the room or online who would like to speak against this application? Hearing none, seeing none, this application is closed. Thank you very much. We are, is this our last one?
Another page.
Oh, I got excited. Okay. Sorry. All right, we're number 13. That's right. Okay. 138 Edge Hill Road, map 141, parcel 165. Petition of Keith Dragovich and Samantha Vagada for a variance to the zoning regulations section 5.2.5 to increase the total lot coverage from 20%, currently 21, proposing 25. Permission to construct two one-story additions. Premises A zone. Can the applicant come forward? Thank you.
My name is Michael Black. I'm the designer of the property. I live at 867 Riverside Drive in Fairfield. I'm the agent for Keith and Sam Dragisevich. So we have an existing non-conforming lot. The lot is 9,375 feet, and their existing conditions is 8,125. So we're asking for a lot coverage variance. All other setbacks, and they're still conforming. FAR is still conforming. But what we're doing is to clarify it, it's a first floor addition for a mudroom and a small office, and it's a second floor addition for a bedroom that's built over an existing deck. So the deck is under 12 inches, so it's not counted as coverage, but that coverage is there, and we're just trying to keep everything as consolidated as possible for the project.
Does the board have any questions? No questions from the board? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone in the room or online who'd like to speak in favor of this application? Is there anyone in the room or online who would like to speak against this application? Hearing none? Seeing none, we're going to close the application. Thank you very much. Okay, we are on number 14. Number 14 is 49 Bonnie Terrace, map 232. Petition 228, petition of Joseph McCambly and Joan Zimmerman for a variance of the zoning regulation section 5.2.5 to increase the total lot coverage from 20%, currently 19.39, proposing 27.08, permission to construct a rear deck. Thank you.
Hey, good afternoon. My name is Ryan Collins. My address is 44 Fern Circle in Trumbull, Connecticut. I'm representing Joan Zimmerman and Joe McCambly on a deck project they would like to construct. They recently completed a renovation of the home. There is some background on a front setback variance they sought of a 3x6 front entryway that was approved and completed. The home they moved back in about a month ago. The home originally had a masonry patio that, as they started to see the home come to life and sort of visualize the end state of what that would look like, it involves descending off of 4 different slider exits to this patio location. They're both in their mid to late 60s, are looking to age in the home. Joe does struggle with some knee inflammation, and several times a year does need to use the cane. The masonry patio started to look less and less like a great idea, and so we started to explore deck possibilities. And so we're currently proposing a 650 square foot deck with stairs descending. It does take that to just over 700. The issue is the lot coverage. It was at 19.44%. Following the renovation, this would push it to 27.08 with the deck expansion. The deck is only 20 inches off of the ground, so not quite at the 12 that would make it really not relevant in the lot coverage calculation. It does have that 8 inches higher, but we're trying to keep them at level so they can age in the home and avoid as many steps as possible. We did provide petition signatures, and we received 2 back. All 5 of the folks sought seemed to be agreeable at the time, but have not come back with signatures. And after Joe and I approached them 2 or 3 times, one gentleman did say he was going to come down and sign, Matt. I don't know if he did, but we have 2 of the signatures here, and the other 3 are outstanding. But no major opposition provided to Joe or I as we've spoken to the neighbors.
Questions?
I have a question, and this is, if this is now or later, but, so, it's, 7% increase in coverage. And, it sounds like Jane, once the deck goes on, they didn't have that existing coverage, and you could come back later and say, oh, now we want to do a big addition off the bat. Are we allowed to ask if they would accept a condition of this deck will not be built over? Is that, you know what I'm saying, is it sets a precedent?
Ask for a condition for
I mean,
anything
it sets a
like-
precedent of like, okay, you've got an extra 7%, and can I now build over that? I'm not saying we have to, I'm just curious if that's.
That would be a conversation you have with the applicant.
Yeah.
Joe is here. I can look for a head nod. I think he would agree to that, but.
It would be evil if we did that.
I am, can you just tell us what your hardship is?
The hardship is the property, the elevation and the topography, it descends about 48 inches from the home to the rear. And so it's like walking on a 2.5 slope roof, and so for folks.
And I know that property, I was drove by there today, and it is,
Yeah.
they've got machinery back there trying to figure it out, but it's South Street is a hill.
Right.
So we can talk about this, I guess, in our own session, but I would want to ask, but since we have to ask the applicant, what exactly would you thinking of asking for? What were you saying?
I'm not saying we have to.
Yeah, but
I just want there to be an out box.
I think we'd be willing to
Condition for-
put that as a
Deck only, that
stipulation.
you will request
So
a.
But this was not a land record issue.
A lot.
Please, Matt.
Yes, please.
Well, no, first I'd like you to explain how it would work before us.
Well, any condition has to be abided by.
And where does the condition get filed?
It's filed with the application and on the land records.
So any future purchase of this home, whoever bought this home, would be subject to never, go ahead then.
Without coming back.
The variance runs with the property, not with the owner.
Right.
So if a condition of approval was put down that the addition of the deck was solely for the deck only, and if they wanted to expand upon that, they would need to come before the commission again to get permission to
Not
build.
that no one could ever do it, but
So to
that,
speak, to enclose the deck.
Yeah, because to Katie's point, if we granted the lot coverage,
They've got it.
they could make a family room out of that, because they have it.
As long as they met all the other requirements, sure. And that,
Coming back to us.
Right, 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 right.
Okay. So would that be acceptable?
It would be.
We're trying to keep the home within the character of the neighborhood. We're trying to avoid putting down concrete patio.
so what I'd like you to do is announce that to the commission.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to get you to, if you won't mind standing up, I know that, sorry.
As the owner.
we're not
And I
saying
do
you can
need
never.
you to put it, say your name and address,
Okay.
and then we'd need you to say on record what you're agreeing to.
I am Joe McCambley.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead, Katie.
I was gonna say, so we're not saying no one can ever do that, it's just that they would have to come back and ask for a new variance.
Yeah, because what we're allowing today would only be the deck.
Right.
In
It
the
would be an
lot coverage.
amendment to the one you're approving today. It wouldn't be a new variance unless they were asking for something else outside of the coverage.
Right.
Right.
It would be to amend the variance that was granted
To
today.
allow for.
If you grant it, to allow for addition over the existing deck.
What does he say?
He just needs to identify that if, condition of approval, I seek to build an unenclosed, uncovered rear deck, period. And if at any time in the future we wish to enclose it, we would need to come back before the commission to remove that condition.
Okay. You got that?
I need closed captions. So, hi, I'm Joe McCambley. My wife and I, John Zimmerman, live at 49 Bonnie Terrace, and we are agreeing to put on a deck that will be unenclosed and uncovered. If we ever chose to do that, we would apply for another variance. Is that
To remove the condition.
to remove the condition? Yes.
Okay, I think that's what okay?
That's good.
Okay, that's great.
Now, can we put, no, never mind, I was going to make a joke and it's not appropriate.
We are being recorded now.
Okay,
you.
so does the board have any more questions of this applicant? I think no. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Is there anyone here or online who would like to speak in favor of this application? Anyone here or online who would like to speak in opposition to this application? Okay, we're going to close this application. Thank you very much.
Thank you all very much.
Okay, now, We're on the last one. This is the last one.
No more pages.
No. Number 15, which is 40 Lynn Street, map 182, parcel 147. Petition of Condola Conrad for variance to the zoning regulation, section 5.2.5, to increase the total lot coverage from 30%, currently 30%, proposing 32.9. Permission to remove existing rear stairs and to construct a new rear deck.
So, last one, yay. So, my name is Hindola Conrad, I'm the owner at 40 Lynn Street. I purchased this house as basically an estate sale back in 2020. And at the time that I bought it, it had a sliding glass door on the quote-unquote sun porch on the left side of the house, as you can see. That staircase was a little bit scary, and the railing was coming off, and you could punch a hole through the floor with your foot. So, not a safe situation. I'm looking to replace that with something because this house needed some renovations externally. In addition, there's a bay window to the right of that that's a pretty big one, and it's the living room, which seems like a natural step off for another sliding glass door. So I'm looking to put a staircase across the back of the house that's new and safe and allows exit into the backyard. That would put the lot coverage to 32.9% from 30%, so that's the hardship.
Well, what's the hardship?
So the actual hardship, by definition, is that I'm looking for an increase in lot coverage.
Okay, well, the hardship is like, do you have an undersized lot? Do you have any features of your property that don't allow you to do this?
Right, it's an undersized lot, and so I am committed to a certain lot coverage, and I'm looking to expand that.
I'm looking.
Okay.
It is, right?
It's in flood zone B.
It's, yeah, I can't read this.
Matt and I went over that. You can read it in another part.
Right.
If you go here, oh no,
Like
wrong
what's
one.
Like what's the existing, do you have the
there we go.
survey?
Got it.
Do you have it?
What's,
It's
is it
up there.
conforming lot or not conforming lot?
Is
So it's
it
not
thir-
conforming.
See it up there?
Yeah.
It's 30. What's
Yeah.
it say?
It's off by 129 square feet.
It's not
But it's
conforming.
not, it's an undersized lot.
Okay, does any other members of the board have questions of this application? No, I don't see anybody. Okay, is there anyone here or online who would like to speak in favor of this application? Is there anyone here or online who would like to speak in opposition to this application? Okay, we don't have any, so we are going to close this application. Thank you very much. We also are going to close the public hearing, and now we are going to vote. Does anyone need a break?
Sure.
I need like.
Okay, 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Okay. We're going to call the zoning board of appeals meeting of August 7th back to order, and we're going to vote now. So we're going to go in order of applications. I will once again mention that number 14, the continued docket 2150 Fairfield Beach Road has been withdrawn. There's no vote. On the general docket, 631 Reed Street has been continued to 9/4. So our first action item is 81 Highland Road, map 77. They are looking to reduce the sum of two sideline setbacks. They want to construct a second floor addition. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Faith, can I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Discussion.
It's already pre-existing non-conforming. It's already.
Seems minimal.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're increasing it by an inch, right? Is that right? But
They're going to use the existing walls because this is a cape, so they're going to just square up the home with the second floor. It is the house predates. Okay, is there any more discussion? Okay, we ready to vote? We're going to vote in order. You're first, sir.
I approve.
Katie?
Yes.
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 And I'm a yes, so that motion carries. That hardship has been approved, or the application has been approved. Okay, we're going to move on to 1055 Banks North Road. They want to construct dormers on the front of their property. Can I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Katie, second?
Second.
Okay, Faith seconds. Discussion. So this is where they're already in the setback and they just want to add 2 dormers to the front of the house,
There's
right?
no change and the neighbors are in favor.
Right. Any other discussion? No? Okay, time to vote.
Yes.
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 And I'm also a yes. All in favor. That variance has been granted. Okay, now we're going on to 76 King Street. And they are looking to remove a 1-story addition of the dwelling and construct a new 2-story addition. Okay, can I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
Discussion.
This one, they're non-conforming on lot size. They're already under their own lot size. They're asking to increase coverage by is that right? 0.25? 0.25.
Yeah.
And they're reducing a non-conformity. They're already too close to the, what is that one? The sidelines. So the sidelines that should be 25. They're already 21.8. They're making it 22. So they're reducing the non-conformity.
Well, they're currently at 21.8, so
Right.
they're making it a little worse by
Oh,
going
right.
to 22, but.
Tried.
But it's a pre-existing non-conforming
they're-
lot. Oh, no, you're
Make
right.
it better.
They're making it better.
Yeah, they're making it closer to 25.
Yeah.
So they're not, they're not doing a lot, but they're at least reducing the non-conformity somewhat.
I think you're right. Okay, is any more discussion around this application from the board? It's time to vote.
Yes.
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 Joe?
Yes.
And I'm also a yes. This has been granted. Next, we are going to 125 Coleman Road. They want to construct a 2nd floor addition. Motion to approve?
So moved.
Second? Have a second?
Second.
Okay, discussion.
Pre-existing,
Yeah, the-
non-conforming, undersized lot.
And there's no change.
Not changing anything.
Right, they're not changing it. Any more discussion? No? Okay, let's go to a vote.
Yes.
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 And I'm a yes. That application has been approved. Number 6, 74 Coach Lane. This is permission to construct a carport and storage shed for a boat. Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
And can I have a second?
Second.
You tried. Okay, discussion.
I'm troubled by this one because there is no existing nonconformity. And as I've said before, we address nonconformities, we don't create them, or we shouldn't create them. So I'm not happy with this application.
Anyone else?
Well, I mean, I'm looking at this in the sense of we always talk about this, that we do have some leeway in granting variances. And number one, I'm looking at they're asking for 1.57% coverage increase. They're still under what they could build in terms of floor area. They could build 30%, they only have 26.8. So they're not making something too big. They're just asking for a very small increase in their coverage. And again, look, and this is, again, somewhat subjective, but I think we have the ability to do that. When you look at what's in the neighborhood, you see those like Quonset hut things, which probably their neighbors should have gotten permits for, and they didn't. And they might well be over as well. And it just seems to me it's increasing, it's improving the aesthetic of the neighborhood not to have another one of those RVs covered in a tarp or a Quonset hut type thing. And again, if we think someone's going to let's say, like, appeal this variance. I think that's very unlikely.
Okay. I would say that my feelings lie with Joe on this. I just think it's something that's a want, and there's no need for it. You know, it's pretty extensive, it increases the lot coverage, they already used everything they could. I don't see any reason for it.
It is aesthetically pleasing. I do hate those. I never heard it called a Kwanzaa hut.
Whatever
But yes, those do annoy me. Possibly he's gonna come back and just make it a little smaller. So we're gonna end up with the same thing, and I mean, it is open on the sides. I know that doesn't make a difference, but it doesn't seem as covered.
Right? No, but even though it's covered, so it counts as coverage, even though it's open on the sides. Yeah, and again, I understand your position.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Right.
But, you know, I don't know, to make them go back and redraw their surveys and.
I mean, what he may end up doing is just taking the shed off the front, and then
Make it
it'll,
smaller.
and then it'll be, well, it has to be big enough to cover the boat.
Right.
So now the boat's obvious and it's looking nasty and.
What is 1.57% coverage based on the
You
lot
can't talk
size?
to Matt
Oh,
during.
yes, I can figure it out then. I will do it. So, wait, this isn't Hylon, this is Coach. Hold on. I'm just curious what the actual square footage is, not percentage wise.
Well, as a previous boat owner, boat ownership doesn't last forever, but if the structure was built, the structure would last. So there is a difference between what I like or what's convenient and what is acceptable.
Okay. So they have 20,126 square feet times.
Obviously, we can't ask Matt, but for the 5 commissioners, are all sheds permanent structures, even when they're not on a cement base?
I believe what Matt's explained to us in the past is if they're on a cement base, they're a permanent structure, but I don't know.
Because I mean, those ones that you buy at Home Depot that you just wheel in, those are considered
But
permanent?
they're so,
As I'm recalling testimony or discussion, anything that's permanent is the structure. And so it doesn't matter whether it's on a foundation or but if it's there, you know, if it's meant to be there 6 months from now or a year from now, it's permanent.
okay, so we go to a vote?
We're talking, I think, by the way, just, I think, about there, we're talking about 300 square feet.
Karen?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
And I'm also a no. Okay, we are going on to 8 Rosedale Drive. They want to remove the existing garage and rebuild the garage with a second floor ADU premises A zone. Can I have a motion to approve?
I move subject to
I just need to motion it in first, I think. I have one motion to
Yes.
approve.
It's got to include the condition.
I'm sorry. So, but when we read it now, we read it in the way that we're going to approve it?
So I move that we approve it, subject to moving the garage another 1.5 feet in from the side yard.
That's correct.
Or more if you so
Yeah,
desires.
yeah.
At a minimum. we could say.
Minimum.
So at a minimum.
Procedurally, do we have to do 2 votes? One is without the condition, one's with the condition? No.
The motion could be made to approve it as submitted, and then we could amend the motion to put the stipulation on it, but
You already know what the.
you know what the stipulation's gonna be, so.
Do it once.
So the application is permission to to remove the existing garage and rebuild the garage with a second floor accessory dwelling with the condition that it's at a minimum of 1.5 feet. Is that 1.5?
An additional 1.5 feet.
Additional 1.5 feet from where it is today.
Yeah, from where it was
Let me
proposed.
just back up. Everything's correct, just say from 6 feet. Because 1.5 plus 4.5 is 6 feet.
Oh, you mean change the,
Yeah, that's all you have to do, just the
okay.
condition of approval.
So where
to
it
have
says
the
right
setback
now,
at 6 feet.
so he's proposing 4.5 and 4.5.
Yeah, just one of them is 6 feet,
Which one?
the side property line.
It's the second one. Second one is gonna be 6.
Minimally 5, 6.
You're gonna have to approve, to reduce from 30 feet and 7 feet.
Okay, the rear is 30 and 7, currently 3.8, and section, is 5.2.5 the side?
Say this. 6.
That one is
Yeah.
6?
We're gonna say, there was this is what they're allowed, this is what they have, that's what, we're gonna say, we're improving 4.5 and 6.
Okay, but I think it's important I read this in now in total.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
So this is the application we're going to ask, I'm going to ask the board for a motion to approve on, which is 8 Rosedale Drive, map 79, parcel 840, petition of Gloria Jean Fazio for variance of zoning regulation, section 6.3.8, to reduce the rear and sideline setbacks from 30 and 7, currently 3.8 and 3.6, proposing 4.5 and 6.
See, and 4.5 with a condition of approval to move that to 6.
Okay, and proposing 4.5, and with the condition of approval that the 4.5 originally in the application will go to 6 at a minimum. And section 5.2.5 to increase the lot coverage from 20%, currently 21, proposing 23. Permission to remove the existing garage and rebuild the garage with a second floor accessory dwelling unit. Can I have a motion to approve what I just read? Motion to approve.
Well, okay, I'll make that motion.
Okay, so do we want to have discussion at this point?
Wait a second.
I need a second.
Second.
I'm sorry, Faith, thank you. Somebody, we have,
Who's the second?
we had Faith and Joe.
Who was the first?
Joe was first.
I made the motion.
Okay, so now, do we want to have is there any more discussion? Yes, please.
I have a question for the board. When we began the discussion for this property, maybe I misunderstood, but it was my understanding that in a zone, that you were not allowed to build a dwelling that was not attached to the existing structure. Was I
Well, I think
misunderstanding
the
that?
wording that I had from Matt on that is you have to get a variance to do it. Whereas if you're in other zones, you don't need to do a variance.
6.3.8
Right.
covers that detached structure.
So that was already covered this variance was already covered in the application of the petition?
The application addresses the need for the variance for this element of the application.
All right. Thank you for the clarification.
Any more discussion on this application as read?
I would just, I mean, for the record, I would just say, we talked about that, they're reducing the rear and sideline setback nonconformity, it's undersized lot, they don't have a 75-foot square. They could double the size of the house if they wanted to, and they're not.
Okay, I think we'll go to a vote.
Yes?
Yes.
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 And I'm a yes too. Okay, the application as read is granted. Okay, we're moving on to 174 Mona Terrace. They want to remove and rebuild an existing deck and stairs. Have a motion to approve?
I move.
Harold, second?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, Joe seconds. Discussion. So this is where they had the CO and then they put the stairs in. And the deck is rotting, so they just want to replace what's there, is that correct?
It's a rebuild to improve the usability, and there's really no change in the percentage.
Anyone else? Okay, think we're ready to vote. Harold?
Yes.
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 Joe?
Yes.
And I'm also a yes. That application is approved. Okay. 50 Lisbon Drive. Permission to construct a second floor and attic additions and a new open front porch. Premises R3 zone. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Katie. Okay, discussion. This is a non-conforming lot?
Mm-hmm. It's an undersized lot, so it's not conforming in square footage. There's no change in the street line setback.
Any
It's
other-
reasonable to me.
Yeah, me too. Anyone else? Okay, we're gonna go to a vote. Harold?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Joe?
Yes.
And I'm a yes also. That application is approved. Number 10, 74 Millspaw Drive. Permission to enclose the existing front porch premises A zone. Motion to approve.
To approve.
Faith, second?
Second.
Katie. Okay, discussion. I think when we discussed this,
So it's already, the deck, is already non-conforming. It's already too close to the street.
Right.
So they're basically asking to move it, it looks like another 3 feet, 3.5 feet closer. So they're increasing an already pre-existing non-conformity.
Right.
There's no opposition from the neighbors.
No. And they had a lot of petitions.
Yeah.
A lot of people signed for it. Okay, any more discussion? Okay, I think we can go to a vote. Harold?
Yes.
Yes.
Katie, yes. Faith?
Yes.
And Joe?
Yes.
And I'm a yes also. The application's approved. Okay, number 11, 121 Lakewood Drive. Permission to construct a rear deck. Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Katie had first.
I
motion,
second.
And Harold seconds. This is Lakewood Drive where they have that huge topography issue in the back.
Topography issue and the usability of the premises.
Yeah, and it's pre-existing non-conforming lot size. It's only got half the square footage it should have.
Right.
Or would have to have now.
Any other comments, discussions? Okay, let's go to a vote. Harold?
Yes.
Kate?
Yes.
Faith?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
And I'm also a yes. That application is approved. Next is number 12, Fairfield Beach Road. This is the utility platform with stairs, 515 Fairfield Beach Road. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
And can I have a second? Faith. Joe is first, Faith is second. Okay, discussion.
Neighbors are fine with it.
I mean, I think the only choice, would be, I was thinking before this application was they could put it on the roof, but then he explained that.
Can't get there.
He said it can't be more than 6 feet 7 from the ground. And because these buildings, I'm assuming this is FEMA compliant, so it creates its own hardship in a sense. Does anyone else have any other thoughts?
I agree with your analysis.
Okay. All right, and I think, if anything else, I think we can go to a vote. Harold?
Yes.
Katie? Yes. Joe?
Yes.
And I'm also a yes, that application is approved. Okay, number 13, 138 Edge Hill Road. Permission to construct two one-story additions, premises A zone. Can I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Katie, and a second? Second. Faith. Okay, discussion. So this is a non-conforming lot?
Yeah.
Right.
It's non-conforming lot size and the square.
Yeah.
It's already handicapped a little bit.
Yeah. Anything else? Okay,
Enough
I
for
think we're ready to vote. Harold?
Yes.
Kate?
Yes.
Yes. Joe?
Yes.
And I'm also a yes, that application is approved. Okay, number 14, which is 49 Bonnie Terrace. Their permission to construct a rear deck. A motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Katie, and a second?
Wait,
Sorry.
we have a stipulation.
Oh, yeah.
on this
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Thank you. Okay. I don't even know.
The deck would only be used.
Oh, gosh,
I can
okay.
give it to you real quick.
Yes.
Condition of approval to not cover or enclose.
Okay, so I'm going to read this, okay, because this is important. So 49, the application now is going to read 49 Bonnie Terrace, map 232, parcel 228, petition of Joseph McCambly and Joan Zimmerman for a variance in the zoning regulations, section 5.2.5, to increase the lot coverage from 20%, currently 19.39, proposing 27.8. Permission to construct a rear deck that will not be covered or enclosed. Good. Okay, can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Joe, and a second?
Second.
Discussion.
As we've been discussing with that stipulation, it meets, I think, the board's requirement. So, and it was agreed to by the petitioner.
The topography, really, you can't have a,
Right.
it just, it's not steep, but it's a slope.
Right, and he also had a lot of signatures, I
Yeah.
believe. Okay. Okay, are we ready? We're gonna go to a vote. Harold?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
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 And I'm also a yes, so that's unanimous, that application is approved. Okay, last but not least is 40 Lynn Street. They want permission to remove the existing rear stairs and construct a new rear deck. Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Katie, second.
Second.
Faith. Okay, discussion. So, is this an undersized lot?
Yes. It's non-conforming undersized lot, correct.
I don't think it's by a lot, but it is. So I think that meets our criteria. Unless anyone else has anything else to add to that? If not, we're going to go to a vote. Harold?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Faith?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
And I'm a yes too. Okay, that application is approved. Thank you very much. We do have one more agenda item, which is also closed to the public for comment, but I'm going to read it out, which is general business or discussion of application materials, enforcement challenges, application review process, hearing guidelines, hardship criteria, decision, practices, guidelines, staff questions, project fit relative to neighborhood property, supervision, inspection of construction projects. Is there anyone on the board who would like to bring up anything for discussion in the other business category?
Yes, so Matt and I have met and we're reviewing the application and supporting documents, and we've come to know a resolution, but it is in process, and we'll meet again before September, and perhaps bring back something to the board that might work better for all of us. And Matt's also investigating whether we need an agenda item to approve the secretary's fees, since they're always the same. It's not like we've got, one month it's 6 hours, 1 month it's 4 hours, and it's a varying amount. It's always the same, as you said, it's always the same amount of money. So we're investigating whether we need to actually approve that.
Okay, that's great. All right.
And just one reminder, the year is approaching 3/4 finished, and we have continuing ed, or whatever it's called, to finish 4 hours of study again this year. So, which you should all be pursuing independently and reporting to the clerk for a record.
Okay, great. All right, thank you. Anything else? Okay, we're going to close the meeting. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for staying so long and listening and.
Do the thing.
Oh, I don't like that. All right, I did it.